This warm-up has really valuable numbers to help you practice for the AP exam. This is common math, so I want to walk you through how to do this problem. We have a TV that operates at 2,000 watts. We're going to use it 4 hours per day. And I suppose we're paying 20 cents per kilowatt hour. The question is, how many dollars per month does this cost? And I always struggle to teach math. We've talked about this. I can do the math. I feel very confident with this math. And I know I have some students that can do this math in their sleep, but I don't really know how to bridge the gap for the students who are intimidated or confused by this math. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do the problem for you. And I'll try my best to explain why I'm doing this. I like to use a type of math called unit conversion. There's another name that they use when they teach you this. I know that modern math instruction has another word for this, but I don't know what that is. I like to look at the units I've got, look at the units I'm going for, and then manipulate the numbers to get rid of the unwanted units, but try to leave myself the wanted units. Remember, I need to end up with dollars on top and months on the bottom. So I'm going to just set this up with a bunch of manipulations that let me cross off the unwanted units, and hopefully that will leave me the more useful units. Try to follow along with me. This will be this will remain on YouTube, so you can use this later. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to clear my little smudge. All right, so using 1, 2, 3 bits of information, I can get to this answer. I also need to have a couple of numbers in my head that I think most of us already know. First of all, I'm going to do this. I want to multiply those two things together because I've got a feeling that watt hours might be useful. Remember that this is a compound unit, right? So watt hour is watts times hours. That's a compound unit. So we just multiply the numbers and we just slap those letters together, watt hour. Okay. Next, watt hour is not really that useful, right? Because watt hours per day, that's not kilowatt hours. Kilowatt hours would be useful because that would get us to dollars per day. I'll show you what I mean. I know something. I know that a kilowatt is 1,000 watts. And the reason that I am tempted to use this conversion is because crossing out my watts would leave me hours and kilowatts. Kilowatt hours per day would be a lot more useful than watt hours per day, right? We're going to need kilowatt hours. So I'm going to do that. I've crossed out the watts. I'm left with kilowatt hours per day. There's my units on the right. And then I've just got to cancel out some zeros. 8 times 1 divided by 1 is 8. So I know that this giant television running 4 hours a day makes 8,000 watt hours a day, which is 8 kilowatt hours per day. I've made this transformation because now that lets me use this, right? Kilowatt hours is a unit of energy that's often used when we discuss electrical consumption. And so knowing that it's a common unit is a good hunch. And then when I look at this, I am encouraged again, right? That lets me cross out the kilowatt hours. Sorry, excuse me. That lets me cross out the kilowatt hours. And now I've got dollars with day on the bottom. That's pretty close, right? Because I need dollars over month for my answer. I'm almost there. I've already got the dollar part. I don't need to do anything with that unit. There's only one unit I've got that I don't really need. The only unit that I don't need is this one. I got to get rid of days. So I got to put days on top. And I want months, right? That's the unit that I still needed. So I'm going to put months on the bottom. What is an equality between days and months? I believe it's 30 days for 1 month, right? Roughly. I think it might be 30 point change. I don't care, whatever. 30. So that lets me get rid of days, and that would give me dollars on top and months on. That would give me our answer, dollars per month. That's what it was asking, right? The question says, what's your monthly cost? Dollars per month. So 1.6 times 30 is 48. $48 on top, month on the bottom. That's our answer. We're spending 48 bucks per month on this large television that runs 4 hours a day. Technically, I know somebody that runs maybe 10 times that per month. Giant TV on all day. But I don't know, at my house, 48 bucks to watch TV, that would not fly. That's not a make-believe number. That's actually a pretty realistic number, especially during COVID times. A lot of people watch TV 4 hours a day. And 2,000 watts, that's a fairly big television, but we've both seen larger televisions. To review, I look at the stuff that I am given and I look at the units I'm going to need in my answer. And your job is to use what you've got, get rid of the units you don't need, and convert to the units that you do need. Now remember, this thing or this thing, that's just converting the units. If I had 10 multiplied by 2 over 2, that's still 10, right? Because 2 over 2 is a 1. Anything that is equal top and bottom is the same as 1. It doesn't really change anything, right? Because they're the same, right? If I have a complicated value times a very complicated value that is the same on the top and the bottom, that doesn't matter. That's just multiplying it by 1. There is no tricky math here because anything times 1 is already that thing, right? And so if this equals that, just like 2 equals 2, when you write that over itself, all you're saying is 1. So when you write that over itself, all you're saying is 1, except now it's all 1, but I've changed my units. That's called unit conversion. So if I've got 3 months, but I need an answer that's in days, well, I just got to get rid of the month and keep the day, right? Month on top, month on bottom will cancel out. So now what are the numbers? How many months equals day? If 1 month equals 30 days, that's just a way to write 1. I'm not really changing anything. This just gives me another way to express that same value. I've taken one thing, multiplied it by 1. So that is the same still. The overall value hasn't changed. But this neat trick lets me get rid of the units I don't want and restate the same thing as the units I do want. I did want days, so I keep them. Didn't want months, so I cancel them out. All the kids that know the math are like, dude, they're not watching anymore. But if you're ever confused, remember that the principle here is to get rid of the unwanted units and convert to the wanted units. Okay, thanks for watching.